Hello friends, this is Rajaranjan once again, and in this session we are going to learn that how to call current class constructor by using this keyword. This is the another feature of this keyword. We have learned various features of this keyword in earlier videos. So in this session we will learn how to call current class constructor by using this keyword, and this concept is also known as constructor chaining. So let's go ahead. First, let's see what's uh, this topic includes. This keyword can be used to inside constructor to call another overloaded constructor in the same class. So what's the constructor and what's the overloaded constructors? We have already discussed constructors, and what are the overloaded constructors we will discuss in this video. So let's move ahead. Okay, fine. So here I have created a project named constructor, and in this I'm going to create a class. Uh, let's name package name is my pack, and here my constructor name is you can say demo. Okay, fine. So here class has been created. So in this class I'm going to create a constructor. So the rule of creating constructor, as we have uh, read earlier, that it must have same name like class name. So demo, and in this constructor I'm going to pass a message that this is non-parameterized constructor. Okay, fine. So as per rule, as we have seen that this keyword can be used to inside constructor to call another overloaded constructor. So here overloaded means we should have another constructor with the same name, but it should have parameters like int a. Okay, so means here I have created two constructors, demo without parameter and demo with single parameter. So when we have same constructor name with different parameters, this term is known as constructor overloading. So in this constructor, I am going to print this value, or going to print a message that parameterized constructor. Okay, fine. Let's create another constructor. So you can create many constructor as you want. In this, I will pass two parameter int a and int b. And in this constructor, I'll print these values a plus plus. Okay. So in this class, I have created three constructors, and constructors have same name but with different parameters. This term is known as constructor overloading. So I need to call these constructors by creating object in main method. So I'll create a main method, and in this constructor I'll call first constructor. So I'll create object obj1 is equal to new. Okay. So when I create this object, a default constructor automatically invoked in my class, but here I have already created a constructor, so there is no default constructor called. So this will call constructor having no parameter. Now I'll call constructor having single parameter, so the object creation syntax will be the same, but variable will be changed. Okay, here it asks for a value, so I'll pass 10. Okay, when this object will be called, this will call a constructor having single parameter, so this will call this constructor. Okay, again here I will call constructor having two parameters. It's again asking for a value, so here I have passed two values. Okay, fine. So I have created three constructor in the class and I have called each of them. So let's find the output. Okay, so this constructor called our non-parameterized constructor. So the object having okay, so the object having single parameter value is called single parameterized constructor, and this holding the parameterized constructor, and the object having two arguments called constructor having two parameters. So first default constructor called or non-parameterized constructor called, then single parameterized constructor called, and then third double parameterized constructor called as per object. We have created object as per constructor called, but with what we have so many constructors and we need to create object for each constructor. So we have alternative for them. At the place of calling object of each constructor, we'll call them through this keyword. So let's see how this happen. Okay, so let's assume I have called just first constructor to which I want, and from here I want to call this constructor. So at the very first statement I will pass this keyword passing single parameter. So what it doing, it's calling constructor having single parameter, so this will call this constructor. If I want to this call, I'll pass two parameters or two arguments. So when compiler run this program, here in main method it will find a object and directly go to constructor, non-parameterized constructor. Here at the very first statement it's finding this keyword having argument, so this will call constructor according to their parameter, and the condition is this keyword will be passed to the very first statement of in the inside constructor. That's why I have passed in the very first statement. Look, if I passed it to the second statement, it won't work, but it's showing constructor call must be first statement in the constructor. So here I have to call it very first statement. Okay, so how it's working, when compiler compile this program, it will look for object. When it's find the object, it will go to constructor. Here at the very first statement it's finding this keyword having two parameter, so it will go to constructor having two parameter. This constructor will be called, and here I want to call this constructor, so I'll pass here this keyword with single parameter. So here at very first statement, compiler is finding this keyword having single parameter. So this will call constructor having single parameter. At last, I will not pass this keyword here. If I call this keyword here, so there will be loop situation generated, and so we don't pass this keyword to last one, and then this will print output in reverse order. So first parameterized constructor will be called, then a plus b, and at last non-parameterized constructor. Okay, so here is the output uh, as we have as we thought. So let's go through the whole program once again. When we run this program, compiler go to the main method, and here it's finding the object which is calling default constructor or uh, non-parameterized constructor. So this is the constructor, and at the very first statement it's finding this keyword having two parameter. So it will go to direct a constructor having two parameter, this one. And here at the very first statement it's finding this keyword having single parameter, and that's this one. And here there is no this keyword, so this output will be printed first, then it will go back where it's come from, that's this constructor, and this is printing a and b. So a and b is 10 and 20, so it will print 10 and 20, and at last it's come from the default constructor, that is non-parameterized constructor. Message will be print in the last. Okay, so this is the way as you want to call the output will be correct, calculated, like this constructor you will pass. So if I want to pass from here single parameterized constructor, then I will pass this keyword with single argument. So okay, this will call this constructor, and from here if I like, I wish to call this constructor, so I will pass here two parameter, that is okay. Okay, fine. So now let's calculate the output. Okay, our default constructor will be called here in very first statement, this keyword it's find, we have found this keyword, so it will call constructor having single argument, this one. And here at the very first statement it's finding this keyword having two arguments, so this will go to constructor having two parameters, and at last we will leave without this keyword. So this output will be printed first, then it will go in reverse order, and after this parameterized constructor, and after this non-parameterized constructor. Okay, so here is the output as we have thought. So if you really understood this concept, please do like for this video and share this video if you understood this topic, and please subscribe for the further videos. Thank you for watching this video.